Hi there, it's Lisa here on our 19th Sunday of Ordinary Time, and our first reading is from the Book of Wisdom, written just within a few centuries before Christ was born, late in the whole writings of the Jewish literature. And this was written with the environment of the Greeks as its backdrop. And so we hear about knowledge and justice and goodness. And whereas Greeks felt like that was impersonal, something to talk about, or rhetoric, all of that, this is put in the context of salvation history. It's all about relationship with God, right? And so let's see how this would go. So let's see if that informs you any as you read these. So the night of the Passover was known beforehand to our fathers, that with the sure knowledge of the oaths in which they put their faith, faith, important word, they might have courage. Courage, important word. So knowing that this was going to happen, so God is the one who gave them knowledge that this was going to happen, do the Passover this way, that the whole readings that we do on Holy Thursday describe all the details of the Passover, right? And so this is the plan. Do it this way. So that's the knowledge, and they're putting their faith in, and they're having courage that they're going to leave and follow God, right? Your people, so we're talking to God, your people awaited the salvation of the just and the destruction of their foes. So whereas they had just moved there at the time of Joseph, then they were enslaved. Okay, so the justice issue. For when you punished our adversaries, in this you glorified us, whom you had summoned, you had called as a people of your own. And so that summoning is still happening to us today. So there's a lot of eye contact that could be done with these lines. I know they're long, and what are they talking about? But like, whom you had summoned is exactly what God is doing to us today. For in secret the holy children of the good of God were offering sacrifice and putting into effect with one accord the divine institution. So we are trying to live out what God has begun, right? And so if you take this with a little bit of knowledge, so those of you who have a Lector workbook, read about it in your Lector workbook, and so that this flow might make sense to you, and if it makes sense to you, it will make more sense to your listeners. So how might this go? A reading from the Book of Wisdom, and we wait 1, 2, 3 while we let people settle. Wisdom, they're going to hear. Okay, the night of the Passover, okay, that's really different from what they might be expecting for wisdom. So take it slowly. The night of the Passover, that situates what we're talking about, was known beforehand to our fathers, that with the sure knowledge of the oaths in which they had put their faith, they might have courage. So I slowed that down. So they put their faith in God, and now they would have courage. Your people awaited the salvation of the just and the destruction of their foes. So specifically talking about the Egyptians, but perhaps that's what we are awaiting as well, right? For when you've punished our adversaries, in this you glorified us whom you had summoned. So we are being lifted up, kind of as an example of, this is how I want you to behave. Obey me, trust me. This is how I want you to behave to the rest of the world. That would be the only way we would be glorified. For in secret, the holy children of the good, and look at how I went. I got a little bit more sneaky, right? For in secret, the holy children of the good were offering sacrifice and putting into effect with one accord the divine institution. So, with one accord is important because that's us working as community, what God has effected. So, take your time with this and let it make sense to you and be real to you, and in fact, give you courage to continue your journey. All right. God bless. Practice reading aloud 5 times.